Good day everyone and welcome to another vlog, and what a week it was indeed. Got a lot done this week. Not as much in terms of animation or long renders or stuff like that, but definitely characters. This week's focus was primarily on getting the Egyptian citizens finished, and while I didn't get them all completely finished as in ready to put into the scene, I did get the citizens pretty much finished except for the specific people that will be features. For example, let's get this list. Pharaoh's assistant that calls Moses and Aaron all the time. The guards have been done. His firstborn has not yet been done. Neither has his wife. And of course there's a lot of animals, and I still need to do the Hebrews, which primarily is Miriam, and then of course the female characters and the male characters as well. So yeah. So let's get into the changes for the week. Now what you're looking at right now is the white buildings from last week. And remember I told you guys I wanted to add some white areas in here, the cemented areas for lack of a better term. You can think of these as paved areas. Now obviously they're way too white, especially for a public area. So I definitely want to add some adjustments, add some brownish tint to it, possibly more normals. And of course, the citizens. So that's definitely a focus for this week, probably even today, as the video renders. And we also have some goats with black patches, so that's awesome as well. I used a global cloud texture, to create as much random spots on the goats as possible. One thing I still want to test though is to find out if the global texture will stick to the objects because these are particle objects, or whether they will move through the texture considering that it is global coordinates. As I look at the goats, I don't see two that are alike, so my guess is that the texture pretty much stays as it is and everything just moves through the texture. So that's probably also on the list for the day. And it's not like the goats are going to be flying anywhere, and they don't walk anywhere either. They're just moving slightly, eating, that sort of thing. So there's really no need to panic about it, but it is useful for future stuff. Okay, so with that, let's get to the first characters. Now you guys have seen this little character before, but her expressions were not finished, were not rigged, and her outfit was different for the throne room. So what I did this week was I finished her outfit and finished her expressions and hooked them up to her body so that her eyebrows will move as well as the rest of her face together. Same character, just modified. You can see specifically around the eyes. I'm going to zoom in. You can see specifically around the eyes and the eye color, and of course I changed the shape of the face a little bit as well and cut the hair. And the outfit is also different. Some children. There's an old lady. Old lady different. The primary change between the two is outfit and lips. The rest is pretty much exactly the same. You remember this guy from last week? Modified version of him. I really like this outfit though. If I had to pick an outfit from the Egyptian catalog, if you will, this would be it, because I really like the look of it. Another child. Of course, older guy. I think I had a turntable of him finished last week. I'm speaking under correction. And of course, finishing the expressions and doing some renders of him. And we are back to the goats. So as you can see, a lot of work went into characters this week. Okay, so now the next step would be to make all the characters' objects into single user objects. Otherwise, you can distribute it using a particle system. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that with a make human character. Okay, so now we are in Blender. Just going to turn on my screencast keys and the camera off. So this is our second old lady character. I already finished the first one. So what we need to do is we need to parent everything to the body. So that means you take the shirt, take the arm, skirt, and I think that's it. Usually she doesn't have any shoes because you can't see the feet. Okay. So make sure that the last object you want everything joined to is selected, which is the body, and press Ctrl J. And now they are one object. But that's not all, actually. So let's just recalculate the normals, because the teeth have their normals flipped when I joined the object. So we just recalculate. That's great. And I already made a mistake. No, I did not. Wait for it. Just want to turn off the smile. Okay, that's great. Now watch what happens when I move the eye control. See? Nothing wrong with the eyes. Eyes are still working exactly the way they're supposed to. Same with this. And even the expressions, the shape keys also hold. The only thing that does not hold is parenting. Look at this. So what needs to happen is we need to weight paint the teeth to the face. And the only way to do that is to go into the rig. You can prefer object mode if you want to. It's not really necessary. All we need to do is activate the rig so we can get to the skeleton. And it's this last layer that you're looking for, especially if you're using the IK rig. You select the jawbone, select the body, use weight painting, there you go, just to check if it's the right one. Then you head into edit mode, select the teeth, and say assign, because by default it would be selected. Now because we are not using activated shape keys like here, we can just move the teeth back up, make sure it's on the basis, turn off proportional editing, and we move the teeth back into position. Since we don't have any shape keys applied for the teeth and that sort of thing, it's not an issue. Let's check that out. Okay, so now if I go smile and angry, you can see the teeth stay static. Whereas if I say did it on surprise and I adjusted the teeth, let's say surprise was active, and let's move the teeth. So let's go do that. See what happens when I take surprise down. That's why it's important that you do this on the basis. And the same goes for the upper teeth, but I just want to show you that it works first. Let me get the jaw. See? Works beautifully. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't weight paint the tongue as well, so I'm just going to weight paint it as well. Going into edit mode. You can do this with tab as well. You don't have to manually do it. For some reason, I've developed a habit of doing it that way. Now, this is not the make human tongue. I just quickly modeled one using a sphere, because for some inexplicable reason, I did not add the teeth base nor the tongue to this character when I exported her from make human. This is an old character, literally and creatively. And now you do the exact same thing for the upper teeth. Select the teeth, making sure it's on basis, hit the sign, and now the teeth are hooked. But our hair is not. So we're going to select all the hair. So now you can see that it's nice and strongly painted. So heading into object mode again, we can turn off the bones, like that. Getting the head bone right there. And you can see the hair stays with the head. But as you can see, there's some breakthrough under at the back of the head. Even if you just turn the head slightly sideways, what you can do to fix that is select everything concerning the body. Choose the side view and now deselect everything around the border of the hair, but with Z active. And that means we are going to deselect the ear as well, because we don't want the ear doing weird stuff. Let's look at that. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now we need to just make sure we get all this so that it's not deleted. Okay, then we double check. Okay, we don't see any skin sticking through, and then we can just X those faces. So that when you tab out and you move the head now, you can see it's a lot cleaner. See? Much better. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to have as few faces as possible so that we have as much memory available as possible. That means anything that you will not see in the final animation has to be removed. So I'm just going to remove everything that you can't see concerning the body that's below the outfit. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So if you were to move her now, you can see that everything is still functional. You see the dress is low resolution. When she will be walking, you won't really notice it. I mean, look at this. That snapping is from her legs, not the dress. So you can see that it's low resolution. It's really cool. And now you can actually distribute this character over a particle system. So what is very important is that when you distribute a character that's animated, a static character doesn't matter, but a character that's animated, let's say her arm is moving up and down. Now you can see the hand goes up and down. Now for the animation to occur, the plane and the skeleton of the character has to be on the same layer. Because if the skeleton disappears, the rig, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get the animation. I'm going to show it to you right now. So I'm going to say old ladies, and let's make all of them appear at once. Actually, let's just make it once so that they're standing still. And no physics required. Object. Now you select not the rig, but the outside mesh. Very important. And if you pop it back, there you can see. So I just have to reduce the amount because it's very high resolution. So let's go for, I don't know, 200 or 20. 20 is fine. Let's go with 20. Now you can see she's lying down at the moment because she's very tired. So all we need to do is turn off the normal emitter. And under the physics, we have to turn on unborn and died. And if you don't want the floor visible, you can just turn that off as well. But I do want rotation. Okay, so that is not the way I want it to look. So I'm going to turn on normal over here so that when I move this root bone, she will stand up. just like that. Okay. So now if we look at these little grannies, you can see the arm moves. Okay. So now I'm going to move the entire character to a different layer that's not visible with the plane. Over there. Now you can see that the mesh still stayed, but look at this. Nothing. Not a single movement. So you see it has to stay there. Has to stay visible. You don't have to necessarily see it with a camera, but it just needs to be on the exact same layer. And I'll prove that as well. Just going to move it to that layer again. And I'm going to increase the size of the plane and hide her under the plane. Okay. Now the only reason you can still see the rig is because X-ray is turned on, but that doesn't matter. So let's increase the granny sizes. So let's say she's like that. And look at that. Now she's waving again. And there you can see the rig move. So that's pretty much how you do it. If you wanted to do multiple characters, which I will need to do, you would use group, but now you can actually use group to distribute characters. I've done the same thing with the goats as well, where some of them are eating, some of them are just looking around, and some of them are just standing there. So whatever it is that you want to do with your characters, you can also use the boid system, like I did with the previous vlog where I showed you guys that you can have them walk across the surface. So let's make them just walk across the surface. I just need to make a surface for them to walk across. Let's just add some subdivision to help the calculations. And set this to a boid system. No flying, only landing and climbing, and that should do it. Let's just give some, okay, that's fine. Oh, what's wrong here is banking and pitching. Height can be set to about 0.2. Oh, sorry, they are set to die instantly, so let's go for 300. Where's the lady? I just need to rotate her. Yeah, the particle system is not the best. Okay, she's now facing along the x-axis. Let's just hit that back. And what a mission. Sometimes you have to just work with it, seriously. Okay. And there they go. It's as simple as that. So have fun with this. I hope this is beneficial to your projects as well. And that's it for this week's vlog. Have a great one and God bless you.